scene. Class vs. class. The mastermind of this operation is Jason Levine. Class vs. class. With the help of his scruffy buddy, 85 to the RGT. Class vs. class.
Go live.
I'll give you 30.
Thank you.
Good. All of it. You're unemployed. You need all the help you
Whoa,
can get.
whoa! We are live right now. Good evening, everyone.
So back to what you were saying, Sean.
What an intro! Welcome to the Class vs. Class Gaming Podcast. I'm your apparently unemployed host. Hey Jay, joining me we've got Blurry Greg.
I'm not blurry.
Your
I don't think
vibes.
I've ever had that problem before.
You're too powerful for the camera. And how are you? How are you, Greg?
Good.
All within 5 minutes?
Of course.
There's a throwback.
I still remember the time we were walking around E3 on the show floor, and it was like I think it was one of the first times I met you, and some guy walked up to you and did that, and I was like, oh, he's a big deal then. He must.
That was OJ. That was OJ.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Everything's a blur.
He was the only guy who recognized the 5-minute indie corner thing.
I just remember a person and you, and then me being like, "Man, maybe he's really big in Canada."
And then, of course, we have RGT joining us as well. How are you tonight?
Fine.
Welcome
again today.
Can you even open your door at this point? Do you have are you in an igloo?
No, they do a great job of plowing and shit. I was telling this last night on the Spawncast. Ooh, I can hear myself very faintly. But anyways, so the plows come through the condo complex or whatever and plow everything, but they plowed everything into my car, and it's I wasn't going anywhere or anything like that, but I like the option to be able to go somewhere. So I took a Tupperware lid from a box from a Tupperware bin that I used to move, and I just went outside, and there was a couple kids playing outside and stuff, and I just started walking, pacing back and forth in front of my car to build up my adrenaline. I was like, "You motherfucking piece of shit, motherfucker!" Just cussing to myself.
What?
Because there's 16 inches of snow in front of my car now because we got a foot, and then they just smashed it all up against it. So I'm waiting for the adrenaline to get going because when I want my adrenaline to go, I get myself really mad.
Why do you need adrenaline for the car in the snow?
Because I'm digging it out with a shovel with a lid.
Oh, because you're doing physical labor. Okay.
Yeah. So then I just go right in, I'm screaming and huffing and puffing. I'm just trying to get it out. One of my neighbors is outside looking at me, and he's like, "Do you want to borrow my snow shovel?" "No, I'm good." I'm just going to town on this thing, and I finally get it to a nice level. I'm like, all right, this looks decent enough. I get in my car, I let it warm up for a minute, and I just gun it. And I didn't catch air, but there was definitely that sort of whoosh moment where you fly up. And so now there's a small crowd of kids with their parents, and then the dude who lives in the next building over staring at me. And it was great because I got out of the spot, I pulled into 2 spots over that was already plowed, and I just put the car in park. I got out, and I was like, all right, everyone have a good day. I just walked back inside. I just wanted to get to a clean spot so that, if I needed to go out, I could.
I have to ask, the whole adrenaline thing, do you do that for every physical activity that you do? Do you do that in the bedroom?
No.
I'll be straight to the point.
No, just if I want to because I'm very hard-headed, and it's if I want something done, I'm going to get it done no matter. Okay. Remember when I had my old housemate, and I had to move all his shit from upstairs to downstairs when I kicked him out, and I throw out my back and stuff like that. Same sort of thing. I just get really angry, and I make myself really angry, and I'm able to move a fucking dresser by myself down the stairs and a bed frame that weighed 1 billion pounds down the stairs because it's I'm not going to stop until it's done.
It's like your Super Saiyan form. Just ugh.
I guess.
It's very similar. I think you gotta take the Vaseline off the lens, Greg.
I think it might be excess lotion or lube. I'm not sure.
So try wiping it down a bit.
I did.
Oh yeah?
Do you want me to try to leave and come back?
Me or you?
No, do you want me to? Yeah, me leave and I'll come back.
I don't think that'll do anything, but if you want to try it, you can go for it.
I'll be quick.
5-minute man. Hey, we didn't even do the intro. So if it is your first time joining us, I'm so sorry, but it is a 1-hour podcast where we talk about what we've been playing, our major headlines, and then we go over a lightning round. That's where we take your questions, topics, and wrap up the show, and we do it all within an hour. This week's big topics is Cyberpunk, which I don't know. I'm kind of tired of seeing Cyberpunk in the news. It's been a wild week for them, and I didn't care about this game before launch, but clearly there's a lot that happened, so we have to talk about it. And then we had the Nindie World Direct, where we're going to go over our patented love it, like it, hate it, or meh style approach to it. And then we have a few other little random tidbits. EA acquiring things, Super Nintendo doing ray tracing. There's some interesting stuff to talk about. So let's see if Greg's back with us. He's some beautiful 2 squares. No. Maybe it.
He's back.
Still blurry.
He's still blurry, but he's back.
He'll be the blurry beard for today.
A bitch.
It's weird because you were clear when we started the call before the show.
I know.
Oh well. It is what it is. So let's get started with Sean. What have you been playing?
Among Us on the Switch. Playing a lot of that.
You enjoying that?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's only $5. I'm
That's
playing Among Us. As far as other new stuff is concerned, nothing really. Just played some Call of Duty. I just played Nuketown, like Hardpoint and Domination, and use like an SMG and run around like an asshole and just shoot at people because it makes me happy. To do that. Achoo! I sneeze sometimes. What else? I just did some random side quests in Immortals because I got bored the other night and wanted to play it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
If you like Immortals, you know what other Greek mythology game that you would really like?
Is it a roguelike? Is it a roguelike fucking game where it's like Diablo?
Kind of like that,
No.
yeah. So it's this game
No, I
called
don't like those
Hades. It's
games.
out on the
No.
Switch right now.
Nope.
It's got that similar banter type comedy that you like in Phoenix or Immortals, whatever. I really like the story. I'm gonna get more into it. But Greg, are you gonna be joining us in blur form, or are you just off for the night?
Yeah. I'm just checking something out real quick and see if I can't get it.
Okay.
I will be there.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'll talk about Hades because I started Hades Wednesday because of a lot of that community pressure of, oh, it's a great indie game. It's a game of the year. You got to play it. And I'm like, all right, let's see what this is about. And roguelikes are fun for me, but they get boring quick. Dead Cells, I got tired of fighting the bridge boss, whatever, and I never really made it that far. Hades fixes that, and I haven't played a lot of roguelikes to say if this is really like groundbreaking or new, but I really love the story and the dialogue they do because every time you play, all the characters are conscious of what happened in your last run, and it's always progressing, and just when you think you're like, okay, I'm going to go to this room and this is going to happen, the game switches it up on you. And every run, I'm always surprised. There's always something new to discover. There's always something new happening. I love that you have a base that you can upgrade. There's just so much to do, and it's the game that keeps on surprising. Now, I'm at about 10 or 15 runs in the game, so I don't know if it does get stale after a certain point. But I'm having a lot of fun with it.
What do you think of the art style?
I like it. I really, I don't love it or anything. It's a good, unique take too. I find on the Greek mythology approach. I like the personalities they gave to all the gods. I like the sprite of all. But otherwise, when
Mhm.
you're playing like the game and all that, the assets don't really do anything special for me. In fact, I find it sometimes it's confusing, especially I prefer having more range attacks because when I'm doing melee, it's such a mess of effects. I don't even know who's attacking me or who I'm attacking because all I see is like lightning and destruction. I'm just like, all right, I hope I'm not getting hit in here, but oftentimes I am. So that's my biggest criticism is just when you're in the fray, it's kind of hard to know what's going on. Have you tried it, Greg, or not yet?
Which one, Hades or?
Hades, yeah.
No,
So
but
I
I
think
don't know.
I think you'd like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, one of these days.
So yeah, I played that. Did I play anything else? I did not finish Order of Ecclesia, but I made progress on that. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, and did I? I don't know if I beat Kakarot last week, but I definitely beat it now, so that's done. Um, and then I'm looking forward to playing Super Meat Boy, the new one, this Wednesday. That's what we're going to be doing on Twitch, by the way.
Ew.
Twitch. You don't like Super Meat Boy?
Fuck, I hate those games. I hate Super Meat Boy. The end is nigh. It's just,
I don't like the
it's
Abyss
just,
Nigh.
it's the same fucking thing. It's just sadist shit where it's like
It's-
you got to play it a million times and maybe you'll get lucky. Like I have no patience for that style of game.
It's weird
No.
because I don't like Celeste, but I like Super Meat Boy, and I don't like The End Is Nigh, but I like Super Meat Boy. So there's something different. What have you been playing, Greg?
More Cyberpunk. Did get some some weird bugs. Like I had actually one earlier today. I dumped in, a decent amount of hours, so things are starting to shape up. But yeah, I got this like bug where I had to go finish this mission by talking to this person, and it was stuck in like scan mode, and I couldn't get out of it. And I was like just getting into where I had left off the game last night,
Mhm.
and it was just like, oh, now this, and then I had to load my same checkpoint, and then I went back and it didn't save like all the skill points that I had attributed to different things. And then I was like, well, fuck, did I spend it on this? And then I had sold a bunch of weapons and stuff too, and I was like, damn it. And then so I had to go back and like resell them and stuff. But they did like a small update, which I noticed a lot of the taxing graphics display options were a little bit better. I actually don't know what I'm getting in terms of frames per second. I have it set to 60, but I don't quite know where it lands. But it's weird. Like sometimes I'll set the preset for the overall global graphic settings to like high or to like medium, and it struggles. But then I turn the FPS up and it's fine. So I'm sure they have more bugs to squash alongside the fires that they've been putting out lately.
Are you playing on Xbox or on PC?
PC.
Okay.
So it's not completely void of bugs. They are there, and people have been experiencing them on across all platforms. But as Sean would say, more so on the base consoles that it was developed for.
Mhm.
But I have been still playing Apex Legends. I hit my 20th win finally today for this season. Fuck yeah, dude. I found like a couple different groups to play with today, and they were all pretty good, and so we kind of ran through some matches, got our bearings straight, and we ended up getting a dub, so that was cool. Yeah, that's about it really. I haven't returned back to Age of Calamity, but I plan to.
Oh yeah, I've been knocking away at that, chipping away at that. I unlocked. This isn't spoilers, but there's some secret characters, and I finally unlocked them, and I was pleasantly surprised. But we're not going to talk about that today. Do you guys want to talk about the Cyberpunk week? Because I kind of don't. But I know, Sean, you've been making videos after video after video. Like, Cyberpunk's been keeping the RGT house alive this week, I find.
It's been great for the channel. I mean, I don't care either way. I mean, I already made a video on it. And there was more shit today with the whole file save thing, but I believe that's only for the PC version. I mean, at the end of the file save on the PC version, if it gets too big, it could corrupt your file and delete your save data.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Like if you, it's literally based on like how much stuff you pick up or something. Like it's a really bizarre thing.
Well,
I
I
think
notice something today. Like I kept getting the inventory full warning, even though I had like discarded a bunch of shit.
that's probably why.
Ugh.
I mean,
It's
at
the
the end of
game?
the day, it was a
fuck yeah.
game. I think I could sum it up. I mean, it was a game that was in development for too long, got too ambitious. They tried to shoehorn a console version in through the development of the PC cycle. They lied to the press. They lied to everyone. The review process was bizarre at the very least. And now there's actually a level of accountability that you haven't seen with games before. You know, you've never seen a AAA game get pulled off of PSN. You've never seen a AAA game get offered refunds because, you know, it's not the product that they. And I mean, that's not to say it's a bad game. I don't think it's a bad game. You know, as far as the core concepts are concerned, there's just no execution of them. And like I said, I feel like the long development cycle hurt the game, and they tried to make the game too ambitious, and they you know, it lost sight. Like, what is Cyberpunk 2077? Like, I ask myself that question so many times when I'm playing it because there's so many mechanics that the game throws at you, but you never have to do them. You never are told how to do the crafting system. I've played the game for like 10 hours. I haven't crafted a single thing. The game never tells you anything about crafting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just too ambitious, I believe.
Yeah, look at like, I know it's like not a fair comparison, but if you take something like Breath of the Wild and like how big the world is and how many different like foods you can make and you know, weapon degradation and where to find, you know, different shrines and all that sort of stuff. But like the focus on promoting that game was behind explaining the things that are found within the game and exploring those and shedding light on them and all those things. Whereas Cyberpunk was like, you know, this giant toy box full of stuff, and like maybe some of the stuff in there is fun to play with, maybe it's not, but you know, the two are in my mind at least, you know, they're like the same style of game. It's just there's more clarity in what Breath of the Wild is versus what Cyberpunk is, and that's kind of, I guess, like Sean said, it's lost in the evolution.
And it was designed. I mean, Breath of the Wild was designed a hell of a lot better. I mean, yeah, any open world game, you're gonna have bugs and glitches, but not on the level of this, you know, and like I said, you know, so many times before, if I'm encountering a game breaking bug an hour into the game on a mainline story mission, not a side quest, not something I did, not something that, you know, the game maybe couldn't handle, on a mainline story mission where I was just simply playing the game, you obviously didn't test this. You know, you obviously didn't care. And then, you know, it gets into the whole thing where the employees are now pissed off because, you know, these people are the ones that dedicated years of their lives to it. And now this is the game that's on your resume. Like, What if you want to leave the company and they're like, all right, so what games did you work on? Cyberpunk. Excuse me? Cyberpunk.
The company that made Witcher 3.
The position has been filled. You know, like, it's a bad look all around because they didn't have, you know, I'm sure if you would have asked anyone who wasn't a shareholder, even though the shareholders are now trying to get involved with the class action suit, anyone who wasn't a shareholder or a bigwig at CD Projekt Red, if the game should have been delayed until next year, they all would have said yes. But those people wanted to get that quick, easy holiday cash. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll fix it as we go along. Right. And fuck Jeff Keighley, by the way.
Why? What's his story on this?
He made a joke about the whole Cyberpunk situation, and like, it's because of motherfuckers like him that we get games like this, because they're overhyped. You sit there, you award No Man's Sky the best ongoing game, which was a game that, granted, it was from a much smaller company, and yes, they did, like somebody said in the chat, they did turn that game around, but it's because we allow things like this So where you literally can release a game and have years to fix it and then get credit for fixing it. Like, it's disgusting. I don't maybe it's because like I play so many games, but I can't imagine going back and revisiting a game that I bought 3 or 4 years ago, because now it's the way it's supposed to be. This is the way that we intended the game. And I'll give Hello Games a pass more so than I would CD Projekt Red, because of company size and scope and all that shit. And really, Sony is almost to blame for
they were championing No Man's
exactly.
Sky.
Well, and that's kind of like that. So I was thinking about that as you were saying that. I don't mean to cut you guys both off, but the that's what I was gonna say is like CD Projekt Red created this problem themselves by exposing themselves so much and creating this hype to leave them open for something like this to happen. Whereas in No Man's Sky's case, it was Sony that was also, kind of
they were rallying it. They were like, this is the game that you can like leave the planet and you can do all this shit.
What do you do is like this fucking little indie studio, and Sony's going to throw money at you. And granted, that's their own fault for doing that, but I'm sure that it wasn't solely on the shoulders of Hello Games, whereas this is completely created by CD Projekt Red, and whatever monies that was driving this process could have. I mean, I'm sure that was the case.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Somebody else, Jake in the chat said Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V was the same way. I remember when that game came out, a buddy of mine that worked at the skate shop near me. I don't even know why I went in there. I think I needed a new board or something. And he was like, "Yo, you played Street Fighter V yet?" I was like, "Nah." And he's like a huge Street Fighter fan. And he was like, "It's good, but like, it feels like there's a ton of stuff missing from this game." And I was like, yeah, like it does, because, and that's sort of the downside of the age that we live in now, is just, oh, we could fix it later. We could fix it. Like, that's why I fucking hate day one patches. I despise them, especially when I'm like reviewing a game. That's the absolute worst. When I'm literally reviewing a game and the company is like, I'll just use arbitrary dates. The company is like, "Oh yeah, well, we can, you can put up your review on the 28th, but a patch is going out on the 30th." And it's like, what?
What am I reviewing at that point?
What am I reviewing? Exactly. Like, I am anticipating that this is the experience that somebody is going to get. And like, now there's a whole big thing going around about NDAs, because I guess the NDA for Cyberpunk was revealed and stuff like that, where it was like, your written review could be done at a certain time before your video review. And if you did a video review that was going up at that time, you could only use the B-roll that they sent you. You couldn't capture your own footage.
Yeah, that was a red flag.
And the like I said in my initial video on this whole situation that made me to be the antichrist of the Cyberpunk situation, no console review codes were actually given out until the game launched in New Zealand, because New Zealand was the first region to get it. Spawnway was talking about it last night, because we all put, it was on terminals. We all put in for a review code of it. And Spawn said that he bought the game from New Zealand the second he could. And at that exact same time, he got a review code for the PlayStation 4 version of the game. And he was like, that's the game they're playing. So, I mean, it was just, they knew the game sucked. They lied to people about the game sucking. And another problem is, and I don't want to hark on it too much, but the yellow chair. The yellow chair is definitely...
What's the yellow chair?
All the influencers, as people call them.
Oh, they got the Cyberpunk chair.
Yeah, because like if you go back and look, and granted, they had very controlled tests, I'm sure. And I'm sure all their stuff was built upon, if they played the game, it was the PC version of the game. And the company is sitting there telling you, this is going to be indicative of what you're getting on the console. But, just things like that. And like those people had to eat crow, unfortunately. And, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. And there are people that genuinely like the game. And if you genuinely like the game and you're having a good time and you don't have any problems with this shit, I don't care. Enjoy the game. Like, I don't understand that. That's the one weird thing about YouTube is, like, I don't understand why people get necessarily so attached to someone's opinion on a video game. Like, I am literally just a strange individual who talks about video games on the internet and uploads a video on it. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. If you don't like my opinion, that's fine. You know, I'm not telling you that you have to agree with my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Right. Well, people come online oftentimes to find validation. And that's one of the downsides of social media is regardless of whatever opinion you have, you can find someone that will validate that for you. And that's why we have this polarizing climate now of any topic. It's either you love it, you hate it, and then you've got cancel culture, and it's disgusting.
But that's that's the other side of the other side of the coin is that that the companies like the companies handling CD Projekt Red, they're banking off those people to have those circles of influence and validation to then the reasons why they gave them to those people in particular is because they know the people that are surrounding them are gonna.
I would love to, if I had a time machine, I would love to go to CD Projekt Red's office throughout 2020, because how many times did they delay just this year? It was like 2 or 3 times, right? So
it was twice.
Okay, it was twice. So they had these these things came up. They clearly got a lot of feedback of this game is not ready to go out. We have these massive bugs. Or I'm sure it was more of that than, hey, we need to have this new feature. And they're like, okay, we'll delay it. And okay, the bugs are still there. Okay, what can we do to fix it? And there was this pressure, and I wonder what was the decision of, they must have seen all these bugs. They must have seen all the problems. And knowing that they could go to market before Christmas, the importance of getting this out before Christmas was more important. There was such a lack of foresight. I feel anybody could have seen that. No, this is gonna blow up if you have this much garbage in your game, this many bugs. So I would love to just understand the logic that went into that decision making of just push it out and we'll deal with it later.
Christmas money. That's
Greed.
all it was. Greed, yeah. It was either make your shareholders, I don't think
they
expected it.
They have the shareholder pressure. That's it.
No, but I don't necessarily think that CD Projekt Red thought it was going to blow up in their face quite like this, because of how we've become almost numb to this, where people accept it. Games like Fallout, games like Fallout 76, games like No Man's Sky. You just become almost accustomed to it, and it's just oh, we'll fix it later. We'll fix it later, and that's a major problem. And I don't think they foresaw. I mean, I had people, my mysterious, I don't know what he is. I call him an uncle, but he's not really an uncle. He's my mom's cousin. So we'll just say my mom's cousin. My mom's cousin, who literally is 58 or 60 years old, and nobody knows what he does for a living at all. And I've actually asked him, because he used to pick me up from the train station when I lived in Delaware, and I'd come up here to visit. And I'd be like, oh, so no work today? It's like, oh, no, I just left the office. What do you do? Oh, just business related stuff. Oh, like what? Oh, it's just,
He just fucking peeled someone's cap back. And
it's funny because it's funny because he has this huge house and this a pool in the backyard, and a little garden area and stuff.
Shady.
But he drives, you know what he drives? A 1995 gold Chrysler Cirrus. And he loves that car so much that he had one for many years that crapped out on him, and he literally tracked down and bought another one, the exact same color. It's bizarre. But anyways, he texted me the other day, and I was like, what the hell's up with this Cyberpunk game everyone's talking about? I'm like, it's not good. He's like, talking about it in the office. I was like, what office? And he just stopped texting me.
Okay, here I'm gonna play devil's advocate and ask this question.
Wait, I'll just plug this one.
Yeah, go for it.
Danica, my fiance, her mom said the same thing. She asked about it too. It's gotten so much publicity and coverage that even she is aware of the situation.
So I'm completely oblivious. I know Josh in the chat saying he's not seeing too many problems on the Xbox Series X, and I think it's more on the older consoles.
No, shh. Stop it.
What's your point?
it's the Xbox build of the game is better than the PlayStation version of the game.
There's that.
Because Microsoft was indirectly involved with the game. Because you remember, the marketing for the game was exclusive to Microsoft platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So in the hierarchy, it's like PC build was here,
Mm-hmm.
Xbox build was here, and then PlayStation build was here.
Right.
And that's why Sony was the first to pull it and say, go fuck yourself with this refund shit, because they had no stake in it. And that was one of the things I brought up in one of my videos, my 30,000 videos on Cyberpunk. Before Microsoft entered the fray and started doing refunds was, Microsoft has a lot more to lose than Sony does with this, because for Sony, this is just another game, it's whatever. But Microsoft had, probably paid, I would assume, millions and millions of dollars to have the exclusive rights to market this game. And then they lost their ass on it too. So it's funny how that worked out.
So,
but yes, the Xbox build of the game, there's core fundamental problems of the game on all versions. There are glitches on all versions that vary from time to time. It's not necessarily a thing where you can duplicate it. It's just the actual game's engine is very poorly built. Game-breaking bugs, as far as the game just shutting down while you're playing it, is most prevalent on PlayStation. I know it happened to Spawnwave on his PS5. He had 10 crashes. I have never had the game completely hard crash on me. Granted, I've only played about 10 hours of it because it's just not a fun game to me. But I never had the game hard crash. I did have game-breaking glitches. I did have bugs. I did have tons of graphical issues on the Xbox Series X that I felt should have been ironed out. But as far as... So, what I'm trying to say is there's levels to the bugs. There's levels to the glitches, depending on what platform you're playing it on.
Okay. My question is mute now. I was just going to say, because this game has so much hype, do you think that there's a certain element to this backlash being so many influencers, so many people online trying to get in on the let's bash the thing that's been hyped for 5 years for views? But there's so much evidence, and the fact that PlayStation...
I think that's part of it. I think that's you're not going to get that.
This is a tough question for me to answer.
Yeah.
So I can only speak for me personally, and I think my stance on it has been consistent throughout. However, there have been a lot of other people that have done complete 180s on this game. Even after the game released, they've done complete 180s on it. So, do you want to go against the grain? Some people don't. Some people don't like seeing, excuse me, 5,000 dislikes on their video, and that's no overstatement. I got over 5,000 dislikes on my first Cyberpunk video. It had more dislikes than likes initially, which is now flip-flopped. It's got more likes than dislikes on it. But it's just like, some people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to sort of, go against the grain as far as, the mentality is concerned. But yeah, some people probably are latching onto it, hoping to get some views off the situation, especially if they do YouTube, as a income-based thing. Like, it's nature, it's natural. You want to go, if something's popular and you have an opinion on it, you might feel compelled to share that opinion. Personally, I only share opinions on things that I find interesting, at least for the most part. I would say 90% of the time. That's why I never talk about PC shit, like the fucking new cards that came out and shit.
Yeah,
scalping, like the whole scalping of that. Like, I didn't give a fuck about that, so I wasn't gonna try to sit there. See, exactly, but I can't sit there and act like I care about it if I don't really care about it. So that's why I just tend to talk about things that like I actually give a fuck about. But yeah, people are always gonna, and it's not even necessarily people who make content. It's just people in general on the internet, because they want to fit in. They don't want to go against the grain because of things like mob mentality and cancel culture and all that bullshit. People will just fucking gang up on you, and it's stupid. But you gotta. It's a balance.
It's like there was blood in the water, and it's just like everyone just.
Well, it's so confusing because
it's my blood.
There's like so many nuanced situations where it's specific to this console, this build, this And I think that's getting lost in the confusion as to, like, in general, does the game suck? Does the game not suck? And then people are, having that debate while all of these issues are still starting to formulate. So I think there's, like, the community at large is still trying to determine, is it like what like,
it's that polarizing thing I'm saying. They're trying to find out, are we supposed to hate this? Or are we supposed to praise it? Because we were taught we were supposed to praise it for the last 5 years, but now this guy's hating it. Now this person's hating it. Now this... I hate it. It's the internet. It's, you pick
like
your
I said before, I want to play it and then make my decision. And, I would say my before, I was defending somewhat of the game is like, until I see what I see, then I'll make a decision based off that. So I do recognize that, but I will say, I mean, it's like a 75 maybe higher in my head. Like, I just hit the part where I hit the title card finally after, not returning to the game, and like things did pick up a little bit, but
story-wise it does.
Right.
I think it definitely does story-wise, but gameplay-wise you still have those core fundamental issues.
I don't necessarily like the voice acting in the game too. It's like, Polish people have never seen like people with American accents talk, and sometimes it's like, or heard people with American accents talk, because some of that is
some of the dialogue is very out of
place. I like the character models and designs. I think they're different and unique, and like I went by this one shop and it was some old dude with slick back hair, a wife beater on, and tats, and I was like, all right, I'd buy shit from this guy. And then, like,
how you doing?
Yeah.
Want some shit?
What's up, gangster? Like,
it's almost like it's almost like Shenmue level of like Tom, the hot dog dealer. A couple things I want to talk about in the chat. Respawn Josh says, I think this has been blown way out of proportion. The YouTubers and gaming news sites are making their Xmas cash with all the views on the subject. I mean, to some extent, you are correct. I mean, if it's a popular topic that people are interested in, and there's something worth talking about with it, I think it, and I sort of said, like, in the chat, it's sort of like the Soulja Boy situation at 2020, which happened in, I think it was 2018, and it got me on World Star, baby. Got me on World Star. But I think this is a little different because of the fact that it's literally something happens every day. One day you have Sony taking it off the store and doing refunds. That's a big story. I mean, that's a big story. It's an unprecedented thing that you've seen. And then you have the next day you have Xbox coming in. Like, that's a big story. Like, that's an update to it. So,
Best Buy start participating too?
Best Buy started up until tomorrow. Actually, you can return your thing. You could return your physical copy. There was more shit today. The save file stuff. EB Games in Australia took it off the shelves and isn't selling it anymore or something. And like, people can make videos about that. To me, those are kind of smaller issues. Like, I feel like I say this all the time, but I feel like I'm pretty much done with the Cyberpunk saga. I made a video on it yesterday, but it's kind of like, unless there's something absolutely batshit crazy happens, which I don't know if it will. I don't really foresee anything crazy happening.
Pulling it from all stores and reworking it?
Yeah, like pulling it from all stores, or like a disgruntled employee stabs someone at the place or something. Like,
Cyberpunked.
I don't think there'll be much worth talking about. But I mean, on the other side, like, I never expected my audience to give a fuck about my opinions on Cyberpunk. But when that first video did well in terms of at least views, not necessarily reception, but in terms of views, I was like, okay, well, this is a top. And like I said, there's different levels to YouTube, so you kind of have to look at it from a business perspective. If a topic if your audience is interested in a topic, and then something happens with that topic again, you kind of, okay, well, let's try it again. Let's see if they're still interested. And then, you sort of gauge it on that. So I don't really know where I was going with that, but
so much for, let's just sum this up real quick. Took the whole show. But I think to close it, is the takeaway here is the fact that PlayStation, Xbox have pulled and are offering refunds for a AAA game that had one of the biggest
Xbox
marketing
has not pulled it. Xbox has not pulled it.
Oh, they have not pulled it. But they're offering refunds.
They are offering refunds.
That, I think, as someone who does not care about Cyberpunk and I don't see myself ever playing it, that is a big story because I think that might start changing the course of no, you don't just launch and fix it later. If you launch and it is too bad, you're getting not just a PR disaster, you're getting removed and people are getting their money back, which is a very, very different story for developers who are considering now putting something knowing it's faulty with the hope of building it later. So I hope that at the end we just end up getting better day one games. I think that's the takeaway here, the big takeaway.
Nico says there's a disclaimer on Xbox's thing saying that the game suffers from performance issues until it gets updated. And I'm not going to return my copy because, I could, but, it's kind of like at this point, it's like, let's be realistic. I made my money back and quite considerably then some because of this game. So, if they got my $60 out of me, whoop-de-doo.
It's a lost leader. All right, let's get into the Nintendo. They should have a mint pack called the Ninties. Nintendo World Showcase that happened on Tuesday. We're gonna go through all the indies that were mentioned real quick. We're gonna love it like a hater, man. If you're familiar with the show, you know how it goes. So the thing kicked off with Splunky 1 and 2 coming to Switch. I don't know why this game is loved so much. It's one of Rerez loves. He's like, you know what the best indie game is? And he pulls this up, and I was like, what's Splunky's? You've never heard of Splunky? I was like, no.
It's because it was like the first roguelike game. It's like the grandfather of the roguelike. I'm going to say, personally, meh, but I really love the name, and I love saying Spelunky.
I agree with you, but yeah, it's a meh for me.
Yeah, definitely a meh for me.
I'm just tired of the genre.
No Spelunky love here. You got to try Hades. Next, we got Fisty Fluffs. You're a cat, and you fight. Love it like a hater.
Meh, but it has potential, because it looks like it plays like Power Stone, which makes it fucking bizarre, but I hate cats, so.
It looks like it plays like garbage. I looked at it. I was like, I don't want to play this.
Love it. I bet you it's going to be the new fucking Flash in the Pan, the new Fall Guys.
No way.
The new Among Us.
I don't think so.
I think so.
These are the games that you think they'll do well on Twitch. You turn it on, and after 10 minutes, the novelty has worn off.
Yeah, but I think for those short spurts, I think it's going to be the perfect game for people to be like, Kikis.
And people love cats. Like, cat people are weirdos.
Yeah, I showed it to my fiance and she loved it.
Exactly.
See?
Yes, I was attacked by a cat.
So love it like a hater, Matt? You were attacked by a cat?
Yes.
What's this story?
So I was at my biological dad's house, and he was living with
not your
mom.
fake uncle.
No, he was living with. Well, I say that because I call my stepdad dad, because me and my biological dad had like a falling out, and now he's dead. But anyway,
oh man, you have to go there. I was thinking it. I was like, is that the one?
I mean, he passed away, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But I was over at his house, and his mother had who's technically, I guess, would say my grandmother, had a cat named Cleo, and me and my cousin, because like it was weird, like it was a 3-floor house, and like each floor was an apartment. And the first floor we didn't know who the people were. On the second floor, my dad lived there, and his mom lived there with him. And on the third floor, my aunt, my dad's sister, lived there with all her kids. So whenever I'd go over there, my cousin Nicholas, who was like the same age as me, we would always play video games. And like his mom had a bunch of kids, and they had a bunch of government cheese. And so he had like, a Super Nintendo and a Genesis and an NES. And I remember one time I asked my mom, I was like, why do they have less money than us? Our place is nicer, but he has all these video games. My mom was like, because of government money. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but it always stuck with me. But anyways, so I was looking for Cleo, and like the couch she had, I don't know whose couch it was. I guess it was hers. It had like a flap. So you had to like pull it up in order to see under it. So I pulled up the flap, and Cleo was there, and she just went, rah, and she scratched me right in the face.
Oh.
And I was like, what did I do to deserve this? I was just looking for the fucking cat.
You entered the bubble.
And then I had a tuna fish on a Portuguese roll afterwards, and it made me feel bad.
These details to your stories that have nothing to do with the story. Next up, we've got Very, Very Valet. A game about you're a valet driver trying to get the car in front of the building. I think this has more potential to be the flash in the pan than the cat game.
Nah.
Love it
That's
like a
small.
hater, meh. Meh
Meh.
for me.
Yeah.
So we're at meh for everything so far. All right. Next, we've got how do you pronounce this? Tunche? I don't know how it's pronounced. It's a hand-drawn hack and slash style game with roguelike elements. Love it like a hater, meh.
Meh.
Also meh.
I like it. I like the
I thought
art
the-
style.
I thought the combat looks cool.
Yeah.
That's the only.
That was a game that looked kind of like a Vanillaware game, right?
Yeah.
What's the other one that came out that had this like it was like a RPG roguelike like this?
Hades.
No, it was a 2D.
I mean, there's a
It-
million of them.
It just came out recently.
Arfin,
I don't know.
I've never seen a moose in person. I think the only place I saw a moose was in a zoo. You got to do some weird stuff to get a moose out. Like you got to pretend you're pissing. You got to make weird calls. It's like the first girl I dated, her father was a hardcore hunter, moose hunter, and when they're not in hunting season, they practice their calls. So like he and his stepdad were like in the living room watching hockey or something, and they're just like I was in the basement with my girlfriend. I like went up to get milk or something, and I just see these two men in like with their beers in the living room. They're just going like, what? And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna entertain you more than that with what a moose sounds like. But
Do
they're
it
just
again.
good. No, they're just going out. Listen to moose calls. Look up a video. It's just.
It kind of cut off though, and I couldn't hear you do it.
Yeah,
Just one more time. One time.
I cannot. If there's any
Put-
moose hunters here, they're gonna be
Put
like,
at least like 90% effort into it. Just one time.
no, they go like, something like that. My son could probably do it better than I can. He was taught the way of the moose call, and like he has like a piece of plywood that's like. It's like cut like an antler, and he goes like through the bush, and then like you pretend you're peeing, like because that's what females do, and that's how you attract the
You hate
male.
it so
Because
much
the
it
male's
sounds
like,
so
a
great.
female's pissing. I gotta get in on that. We just got no. It's Respawn Josh. Thank you for that donation, but he says for you to buy and play Cyberpunk, Jay. Ooh. I might have to wait for some patches, man. I don't know.
You know what it's good on? Stadia.
I don't have Stadia.
Oh, you used to.
No, I never
Oh,
got
yeah.
it. I sold it to Rerez before it arrived.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Sold
Josh.
what?
If you want my take on Cyberpunk, I will use your donation. I will get the game and I will review it. Thank you for that.
I'm actually curious to see what it looks like on Stadia, to be honest.
It's good. I've heard.
I'll have to figure out what version I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna get it on the PS4. I don't think that's smart.
No.
All right. Next up in the Indie World Showcase, we had Cyber Shadow dropping in January, which is that ninja game by Yacht Club, published by Yacht Club Games. Love it like a hater, man.
Probably close to love it. I think it looks awesome.
I like it. It looks cool and everything, but I don't quite understand. Until I play it, I won't know if I love it.
I think you will.
I probably will.
Like it.
This seems like
Just
a great.
continuing on the- Yeah. But it's also like I never played the Messenger, and I don't know if I'll play this one, but it looks cool.
Oh, you had the cat story on Spawncast. So you guys save some exclusives for the Class vs. Crass podcast. Next
I mean,
week.
because we were talking about the stupid thing, because we talk about the same thing. This whole bit is the same thing I do on the Spawncast most of the time.
It's a little bit more focused since you're not sharing the screen with 7 other people.
That's true.
Calico, although that is made up for by the length, which is now 4 hours, 3 hours. Calico, what is this?
That's the cat.
It's a
not
cat
game.
It's a
Calico?
cat cafe. You're like a cat, I think, making
Yeah.
coffee.
Hate it, man. Get away from me.
Is it hated or meh?
It's cats.
Greg?
I ever tell you the story about when I got scratched in the
Yes,
face?
I heard the story.
I'm a meh, but I'm also like slightly aroused by this game. I don't know. It's weird.
Really? That's not the. Wasn't expecting that. Meh for me. Don't care. It's a cafe, but they didn't show anything that interested me. Next, we have Alba, a wildlife adventure coming spring.
Slight like. I think it has potential. I want to see more from it, but I
You-
thought it was kind of looking.
You just
Solid.
like open world, like exploring cell shaded nature. Any
Not
game
bad.
that shows a forest and cell shaded, you're like, give me some of that. Greg?
To some extent.
Like it. Looks kind of edutainment, but whatever.
It's a meh for me. Next we have Gnosia, which was
Yeah.
I don't even know what this was. It looked like a Flash game.
It's a visual novel.
Oh, that's what it was. Meh for me.
Man, no, hate it. Fuck that.
Happy Game, a psychedelic horror experience. Really? I thought you were gonna like that one.
Nah, it's too weird.
Really weird. Meh. It's very hard for me to hate it. Really? That's your stuff?
Fuck yeah.
We got Matt with the $20 donation. Thank you so much, Matt, saying, Merry Christmas, Jason. Buy that cat fighting game and stream it. Because we're playing the cat fighting game as well on Wednesday. Thank you, Matt. You guys are loading up my holiday gaming sessions. Next up, we've got Super Meat Boy sequel, Super Meat Boy Forever, coming out on Wednesday. Love it like a hater, man.
Meh.
Like it.
Love it. I really like the first one, so I'm buying this day one. Grindstone was announced, which was developed in Toronto. But otherwise, I don't see the appeal of this game. Apparently it's really good, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, it was just weird. Like people genuinely like the game, but meh.
Yeah, and there's you can pre-order the physical, so there's that.
Meh.
Looks like a lot of stat management, and yeah.
And lastly, Among Us Shadow dropped on Switch. Love it like a hater.
You missed the sizzle reel. There was a game in the sizzle reel that I really liked.
I don't have a list of the sizzle reel.
Remember the name of it though.
Did it have pretty cel shaded graphics and nature?
It was called Hazel Sky. It's a kind of open world 3D adventure game in which
with cel shaded graphics.
Oh yeah.
The graphics aren't cel shaded.
No, the art.
It's like some crafting and shit.
Key art.
Yeah. No, look.
It's cartoony.
It's cartoony, but it's not cel shaded.
It's like borderline cel shaded.
No.
Borderlands cel shaded?
Yes.
It's not. He said it looks like board. Like, look at that cool the picture with the whale like on the beach. I like whales. I think whales are interesting.
Well, they are the biggest mammal in the world.
Jason, what's your spirit animal?
Probably the whale.
Interesting.
What's
Sean?
yours?
Monkey.
Interesting.
I knew that, and I don't know how I knew that.
What the fuck?
It's weird. What's yours, Greg?
Okay. Say mine on 3. Ready, Jason?
I know what it is.
1, 2, 3.
Turtles.
Gopher.
What?
Oh.
What'd you say?
It's a gopher.
A gopher. Okay.
What did you say?
I said a whale.
Wow.
You're a dick.
Overall, it wasn't the best indie direct, but there was a nice variety of different stuff. The Among Us was obviously a big thing that's gonna fucking sell a jillion copies if it already hasn't.
You know what? The raccoon is like Toronto's animal. I have to say, the more I learn about the raccoon, I really like raccoons. They're cute. They have dexterity. They could be pets. They're just like pretty much fat dogs, but smarter.
I'd say so. My raccoons, one of them tries to come inside.
Yeah, like if they didn't have rabies and were trained, they'd be solid pets.
You can get like a baby raccoon that's like a fresh one, and a lot of people try to domesticate it.
Yeah.
I saw a video. This guy opens a trash. It's like a dumpster. There's like 30 of them in there. And he's like, y'all really just in there right now, aren't you? He's like, what are y'all doing in one place? And he's like panning back and forth, and they're all just like chilling.
Like, what's up, man?
Yeah. Close the door.
Yeah, because like when I'm out having a cigarette, like he'll somehow hear me and he'll pop his head. The one of them, he'll pop his head under the fence and he'll kind of look around, and then I'll come inside to like grab a piece of bread, and like by the time I'm back, he'll be literally, his face will literally be like in the sliding glass doorway, like looking around inside. I'm like, get back.
Is your gopher
Stop
still alive?
I don't know. It was a groundhog.
Okay.
He could be hibernating. He could be dead.
What's the difference between a groundhog and a gopher?
A groundhog is
Bigger.
bigger, yeah. This fucker was like this big, like complete fat ass.
Yeah, I didn't really care about this indie direct. Everybody was going. Every time you have an indie direct, everyone's like, "Oh my God, Hollow Knight Silk Song." No,
That's the
guys.
reason you didn't care, because if Hollow Knight
No,
would have been there, you would have shit your pants and ate the poop
probably.
because you were
Or I would have just
sick.
bought the game and played the game instead of eating my own feces, which is not good for you. I don't recommend it. But every time there's this indie direct, that's the only game people predict in it, and everybody's like, "It's gonna happen." It's like it's not gonna happen, guys. They're not just
I
gonna.
didn't predict it.
They're not. You didn't, but everyone else that I saw on my Twitter feed were like, "It's happening," and it's not. The the Hollow Knight brand has so much momentum behind it. Nintendo's going to play to that. I don't think they're going to shadow drop it. Especially, I hear it might be a console launch
What about like
exclusive.
Cuphead just like a
So if it's a popular port, they shadow drop them. Ori, Cuphead, Among Us. But if it's a console launch exclusive for a widely anticipated game like Silksong, I don't think they're going to shadow drop that.
what if it just came out Christmas Day? Boom.
Then I guess I will poop my pants and eat my feces.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Better not do it, Nintendo. They wouldn't do it. Nobody's launching a game on Christmas Day. That doesn't happen.
Hold on, let me just put this out into the universe.
All right, we're gonna start the lightning round. Apparently, I did it wrong last week, so Sean, you're back on bat.
Bets on which month we're getting more info on Bayonetta 3, bonus Breath of the Wild 2. I think Bayonetta 3 is a 2021 game. I think you'll hear about it in the spring, and it'll release in the summer or fall.
Bayonetta 3.
I feel like February's
Is that game still on Valentine's Day?
they'll at least share something.
After the Mario game drops, then we'll get the Zelda goodness. Probably.
Plus, I think people want to put 2020 to bed fully before we can.
Squirt out.
Yeah, make like a fetus and head out.
All right.
I thought I was doing it.
You were, but I want to interrupt first because there's one topic we're not going to talk about. I just want to show this to you guys because I thought it was really cool. Treon recommended it as one of the topics. This mod, or I don't know what to call them, they made ray tracing work on the Super Nintendo, and I just want to show you guys this demo.
With the FX chip too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Super Nintendo. Oh yeah, and then the Simpsons game.
Yeah, we don't have time to talk about it, but they found a Simpsons game that was in development for the Dreamcast. Which
Where you play it as a fly. But I almost wonder if it was going to be a callback to the Treehouse of Horror episode where Bart turns into the fly, half Bart, half fly.
Yeah.
Maybe. And maybe that was just like a thing for it. Any update on Panzer Dragoon 2 remake? Nothing I've heard. And the new patch, I've heard it's just like bug related stuff. I actually guess what I finally fucking got today on a Sunday.
What'd you get on a Sunday?
I'm going to show you.
Pull out your sweater, Greg. Rick, we can't have the last show of the year without you showing off your best sweater.
Hey man.
Does that thing have batteries?
Yeah, it has like the little button cell batteries in it.
How do you wash that?
I don't think I've ever watched it.
I should really let people see it before I talk more about it. Hey, that's a cool case.
My Panzer, my limited edition from Limited Run Games, finally showed up.
People want the episode extended 15 minutes. Do you guys want to give a 15-minute Christmas bonus?
That's fine.
There you go. Aren't we generous? 15 minutes.
With this coming year being the Zelda anniversary, how likely are we going to get Final Skyward Sword on the Switch? I think it's a decent possibility, honestly, because that's kind of the bastard of the mainline Zelda games. So I think there's, and it's a game that would benefit from an HD version, because technically you had the upgraded version of Ocarina and Majora on the 3DS, but you never had a cleaned up version of that game, which was designed on a sub HD system. So I think it would be good.
Greg, put on your sweater. You almost put it, and then you put it away.
Oh, Dad.
Did I pre-order the Atari VCS? I did not.
Oh, really? You weren't in on that, eh?
No.
By the way, look at this sweater Greg's putting on. You'd be proud of him.
Hold on. Pull up Discord. Go Jesus.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Best part's coming up.
Oh, is he breakdancing? It's your birthday?
Wait for it.
Wow, that is cool. I like that.
Was this on the bottom again?
I think it's
Oh Jesus, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
So glad I bought a double XL because I am super fat right now and it fits comfortably.
You mean super built?
Yeah, right.
From lifting all those weights.
Santiago. It should be coming very soon. Dude, I pre-ordered this the second it went up, along with Streets of Rage 4 at the same time, not thinking that they would I thought they would ship them individually. So I also just got Streets of Rage 4 physical in today.
How long was the turnaround on it?
This was from the summer.
Oh shit.
But now Forever Entertainment, the company who made the game, is actually getting into the physical game as well. And they have a Panzer, a limited Panzer edition. I'm sending it to you, Jason. Put it up on the screen.
Please send it on Facebook.
I kind of like that though. Then I at least have options if I do want to get some of this other.
They have one with the fucking statue, a crystal statue, and I'm like, I want this. All right, I sent it.
I don't see it.
It's on Facebook.
I see it. It just arrived.
Hey Jason, it's on Facebook.
Took a while to cross the border. Oh, this looks really good.
It's expensive as shit.
Yeah,
Well, that's like 200 US, 120 euros.
No, it's like
Oh,
like 150, I think.
I was thinking pounds.
But they have multiple editions. There's this edition. There's an edition that's like the best one. There's one that comes with like a skin, and then there's one that's just a standard version of the game, and you can buy it whenever. And they just got into the physical market. So
Who's Forever
see what
Limited?
they're the people who made the game.
Oh, and they're the ones that entering.
Forever Entertainment, Forever Limited is their physical goods lineup now.
See what I do with taxes and shit.
Is Switch getting a GameCube Virtual Console? Probably not anytime soon. Still waiting on my Pod Racer. Let me scroll up here. Plans for Christmas and New Year's. I'm going to my grandma's house on Christmas Eve and staying there until the day after Christmas. I'm just going to eat like a fuck and sleep a lot because I don't sleep a lot. Giants are up 3. Nope, don't lie to me. Colt McCoy is God. Did I order?
Hey, you didn't let us answer what we're doing for Christmas.
Nobody cares. You don't even celebrate. You celebrate Boxing Day.
We celebrate Christmas before Boxing Day. It's just our holiday has a little bit more holiday to it, you know? You do the religious stuff and the family stuff, and then you do the commercial stuff. Get all the sales. Greg, what are you doing for Christmas?
We are, believe it or not, going to eat steak and lobster and just fucking chill.
Nice.
Yeah, we found this place that you just buy the food and you just heat it up and it's all good.
I'm also staying in lockdown. It's my first Christmas at home, so I'm going to keep it chill, play some games. And I'm going to be working on my blog. I want to launch a Hey Jay blog over the holidays for random stories about my life.
I did not order Paprium, but I do find it fascinating that it's all of a sudden shipping out. But I almost am at the point where it's like I'll believe it when I see it.
$140, $199 for that limited edition bundle.
It's not bad. I'm actually doing a sponsor spot with them, so I might try to be like, "Hey, can you send me that shit too?" Money's cool, but I want that fucking. You don't even have to send me the whole thing. Just give me the statue. Would I buy the Bowser statue from Super Nintendo World? I mean, I might. What is Grandma cooking? I know there's ham, lasagna. There'll be snowflake rolls because I like to make ham sandwiches out of the snowflake rolls. All sorts of sides, probably pies, apple pie, pumpkin pie,
hair pie.
Hair pie?
It's a pie.
Made of hair?
Yeah. Any tips on dating single moms? I mean, dating a single mom isn't the worst thing because it can actually be beneficial because she's not pulling any fuckery if she's out with her kid or something like that. So you kind of have that thing, but then you also have to factor in like the spontaneous, 1 a.m. What are you doing? Call like that probably won't fly because a kid will be asleep, and then you're like, well, they'll just sleep through the night. They don't even know you're gone, and then they get mad at you for saying that, and you're like, it was just a joke. But in actuality, it wasn't a joke because if she would have said yes, like you would have gone through with it anyways. Oh, it was a joke. Sorry. Moving on. Am I doing any streaming anytime soon? I probably should have streamed today because I didn't have a video, but I had company over.
Do you have a preference of streaming? YouTube, Twitch?
You fuck Twitch, dude. Twitch is the worst fucking place in the world. They're ran by a bunch of assholes who have different rules for different sets of people, and it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Some chick, they played it off as if there was an accidental shot of her like an upskirt. No, this chick literally stood up, turned around, and spread her booty hole and vagina on camera for like 10 seconds. And all she got was a 3-day suspension.
Wow.
Meanwhile,
but
if
when you show your dick, I mean, you ban.
Meanwhile, no, if a dude says simp or something on stream, he'll get a longer suspension than that. Like, Twitch is the fucking armpit, dude. Like, the people that run it are just absolute fucking dredges of society. Fuck Twitch. I will never get partnered with Twitch, and I don't care.
1 year from now, welcome everybody to the Twitch stream, RGT Twitch stream.
So is the wrestling channel dead or what? No, I didn't like what I was doing with it. I didn't like doing the reviews for the shows because it was taking away my enjoyment of watching because I would have to sit there and like jot down notes while I was watching it, and it became very akin to when I play a game and I had to sit there and like if it's a game that I'm going to review and I had to sit there and jot down notes, and it's like, well, at least I'm getting paid for that. The wrestling channel is just for the fun of it. So the fun kind of got sucked away. So I'm thinking of new ideas for next year, but no, it's not dead.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sean, your philosophy, secure the bag. Is there a dollar amount Twitch could approach you with that you would move over to push your content onto Twitch?
See, that's the thing. They wouldn't do that because there is no content.
There is
the only. I mean, yeah. There's always a number. There's always a number.
Yeah, I do agree with you though.
Yeah, Twitch is just I don't mind crazy rules as long as everyone plays by the same rules. And I know that there's exceptions on YouTube, but it's way more prevalent on Twitch where it's like certain people can do certain things and get away with it, and certain people can't do it.
Like Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
Like look at this. Look at showing your asshole and genitalia on stream. Like if that was in a place where it was okayed versus his situation where there was, I mean, who knows what happened, but
nobody knows.
I steer clear of the Twitch drama. It's a disgusting thing.
Or I mean, you can even talk about Dr. Disrespect getting banned off of Twitch for like a week because he went into a bathroom and he filmed people, or he filmed someone, even though there was nothing shown. But this chick, who also I'm sure is just a pure coincidence, also has an OnlyFans. Literally, like each cheek spread wide open. Like, look what I ate for dinner last night, and it's like,
okay, that's gross.
3 days.
You've seen the clip.
It's bullshit. When is that wrestling game coming out? Well, there's actually another wrestling game coming out in January. That's a very interesting game called Wrestling Empire. That I've been playing that person's game for many, many years. They've done like PC games, they have mobile games. It's only one person who makes it. Retromania Wrestling is coming out in February, on February 26th, I believe. Jay, did you buy those clam flavored candy canes?
I can't find them. I think it's a picture floating around the internet, so I don't even know if it's real, but I'm trying to find them. And I will lick clam flavored candy canes for you guys on AG.
That's disgusting.
YouTube won't ban me for that, right?
There's only one way to find out.
Twitch might, but
I don't have the clip. I just saw the clip.
Is there a Hey Jay Eats episode or Castlevania tomorrow? There's going to be Castlevania. Hey Jay Eats is on a bit of a hiatus while I deal with a health condition that prevents me from trying weird things. Hopefully that goes away by January.
That sounds
Is it,
really
the,
weird.
is it the gag reflex thing?
No, I'm actually on medication. My stomach's doing weird stuff. So we just gotta figure it out. I think it's a stomach ulcer. Like I'm not shy to talk about what it is. So once that heals, I should be good.
He's
to
pregnant.
stuff.
He's pregnant.
Damn it!
You're
I told you not to talk about our child on stream.
Yeah, I did see a Super Mario Maker gender reveal. It was actually pretty decent.
I'm sure there's a bunch of those, isn't there? Did you see our Valentine's video that Sean and I did on Nintendo Enthusiasts, where it was actually it was using Mario Maker, and I think Sean was having troubles. This is all skip, by the way, getting a girl, and I was giving him advice, and he was interpreting it wrong and making Mario Maker levels. And there was like there was like boobies with like the fire things, which were like the tassels
I
on the
remember
boobies. Actually, I'll link it now that I mentioned it, if I can find it.
Do I have a Streamlabs? I do. You don't have to do anything for me though, Matthew. I appreciate the sentiment, but no, you don't worry about that, brother. But thank you.
There you go.
Jay will go to Japan to eat the Mario burger and Toad pizza and not to go on one ride.
I'll do both. Why can't
I thought that
both?
place looks really cool, but
It looks cramped.
yeah, like you're gonna have to be like, all right, 6 people in at a time. You know, at least maybe in Japan, you know, there's more culture, but like whenever they open it at Universal Florida and I'm there, I'll have this in my pocket and get too close to me. You're getting stabbed because I'm not fucking around. Get away from me. You smell.
Seriously, like I've been to Disney a few times, and that place is designed for a lot of people, and it's like wide. And I was looking at the Mario or the Super Nintendo World. I'm just like, do they know that they need to account for crowds? Everything is so, it's perfect for like 1 or 2 people, but once you get crowds in there, it's gonna be messy.
I don't know.
Especially, like-
I watched Disneyland Evolved and like Disney California Adventure and all that sort of stuff, and it's like developed into its own park. And initially, when it opened up, it looked really small, and like I don't know. I feel like it's the same comparison. Like they have the possibility to expand in the future. It's not
Because like, okay, you go through the tube and
but
you're in
it's
the
like
castle.
the underground. Like the underground shit is what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the castle because that's the first thing everyone's going to see. So you got these crowds, hundreds of people going through the pipe. And what are they going to do? They're going to get in the castle. They're all going to stop, pull out their phones and start taking pictures. And you're just going to be like, I just want to get in the park. Like, just get out of my way. But everyone's going to be like taking pictures.
And that's when you bring this.
Oh.
And people will get the fuck out of your way.
You're not going to make it through the metal detector scan thing.
Good point.
You're going to need a
Maybe,
plastic
no,
one.
no. You know what you do? You
internally.
do like they do in prison, where you get a plastic fork and you turn it into a shiv. You get like a plastic fork. You take a couple. You make one end very sharp,
Why is this
and
on
then
my channel?
attach like a couple more like pieces of, you know how like a fork has like multiple little springs to it or whatever.
I'm aware of
Take
a
a
fork.
couple of those, make them together, make a nice pointed tip, melt it so that way it becomes hard on the end, and then wrap it around with like a nice hard tape,
Mhm.
and that way you add that stability in there, and then bam,
Did your uncle?
That's what he does.
It's common sense. I thought everyone knew that.
Okay, Sean, so you're gonna take your fork, right? You clip off the other 3 prongs. You only leave the one. You file it down.
They're talking about a Donkey Kong and Legend of Zelda editions of the park. Yeah, I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be a lot bigger. I think this is just sort of a test. Plus, there's only so much they can do with all the shit going on in the world today. World's a different place where life's become a race. And unlike the years of past, our kids grow up too fast. What they see in stores is threats of bombs and wars. Through that deadly game they're taught, their happiness is bought. But the children of today, they have no time for child's play. They feel they're all alone, even strangers in their home.
I think it needs a few
So to
more
hide the
beats.
pain and tears, they destroy their youthful years by giving up on love and hugs and escaping into drugs. But if we say that we don't care and the problem isn't mine, then it's more than just a shame. Our lack of caring is a crime.
Merry Christmas to one and all.
That's the Dare song. Did you fuckers
I
not
don't-
have Dare?
No. I don't know what that is. I knew you
Drug,
were...
drug abuse resistance education. Dare. It was in our fucking school system.
Oh, shit. No, I've never heard of that. I thought we were ending the show on that poem, unless you have a better poem.
Oh, no. Let me see if I can find this song. So like,
Oh boy. And we'll time it to the milking the cow video that you grew up with as well.
I'll take off my sweater solely because I'm
Yeah,
sweating.
you can take it off. Take it all off.
I don't know why the fuck I remember that song.
Whoa, he took it all off.
You told me to take it all off.
Damn, you don't always have to listen to it. Oh, you got one of those booby lamps at the top.
The nipple lamps.
Yeah.
This is like literally from 4th grade. And I have no fucking clue why I know the song still.
Where did you link that somewhere? Or?
I put it in the chat.
Did you?
In the chat for the.
It didn't show up. I think you got blocked.
Why was it? No, I'm a mod. It'll let me put it in there.
It should, but I don't see it.
Just look up.
I can drop it.
It's literally just called Old Dare Song on YouTube. To keep the kids off drugs. Yeah! To keep the kids off dope.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah!
What?
To give the kids some help.
Please
It's
stop.
Yeah!
I need help from this song.
Kids some help.
Dude, you're gonna stab your face with that.
It's fine.
What's
Is this
happening?
like a Pink Floyd ripoff? Like The Wall? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I have no idea.
I've never heard that in my life.
Dude, when they did
Must've been
Dare at our
East
school in
Coast.
4th grade, that was the song. And I'm pretty sure we had to sing it too, and that's probably why I remember it.
It was probably an East
Ours
Coast.
is always like the God bless the USA.
Yeah, that's another classic.
We also parodied that on Nintendo Enthusiasts. You don't want to look it up though. Thank God for Nintendo Enthusiasts. I sing in it, so don't listen to it. It's terrible. It's
Actually,
Yeah.
I do remember that one.
Tone deaf person in the world.
I am. You should never have me sing. Don't go to karaoke with me. Although Greg has done it
I've
many
been to
times. But you're so drunk, it sounds good. So it's like,
I've never heard that rendition of Celine Dion.
I did not sing any Celine Dion.
We sang Celine.
I don't remember singing Celine. Wait,
I,
wait. Maybe I did.
Yeah. I'm like, where's my phone?
Oh shit. You know, the only thing I can remember from that karaoke night. Do you guys know what edamame is?
Yeah, little beans.
Yeah, like green beans. Often, you know what edamame is, Sean? You probably don't
I can
either
look
because
it
it's
up, though.
green. So it's like this green bean that you kind of like chew on it and you pop out the green peas that are inside the bean.
Oh, I love these. They're called snap peas, you fuck.
Are they snap peas?
Yeah, that's what I call them.
Wait a minute. Are
Yeah, and it's like a pea, and inside there's like 3 or 4 little fucking balls.
yeah, and it's usually salted, and you just like chew on that.
Yeah, my grandma makes them sometimes. I'm gonna tell her. Oh, I wonder if she got any for
Yeah, so
Christmas.
snap peas. So there was a bowl of that, and I was like, so usually, you grab it, you pull out the peas, and you put the remnants in another dish. Well, this was a dark karaoke room, and someone put their stupid chewed up edamame back into the original, and I grabbed it, not knowing, put it in my mouth, did not find any beans, just a wet shell with no beans inside. It was the most disgusting thing ever, because I don't even know. I was there with a bunch of strangers and Greg.
Probably mine.
So it could have been that thing had been through someone's mouth and then
Did you
into
get
mine.
ulcers afterwards?
No, I
'Cause then
didn't.
it was
I
mine.
didn't.
Oh, no. Okay.
I would have probably if well, that's a story for another time.
Okay, I mean, they're pretty much the same. A snap pea and an edamame.
Are
They're
they
pretty-
different? They look the same.
Like, yeah, unlike are eaten whole. You can eat the whole snap pea.
Oh.
Edamame are a little more bitter, or snap pea is a little. They're essentially the same.
One's American, one's Japanese. All right.
Yeah.
What's
God
coming?
bless the USA. I have no idea. I have a video that I'm waiting on a sponsor to approve a spot for it. Ideally, that will be tomorrow morning. And that sponsor just happens to be Forever Limited Games.
Oh wow.
No, they were like, "Are you talking about our website?" I was like, "Okay." They're like, "Here's money." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
I'll
But
talk
yeah,
about that website
so
for money.
right, I was shocked at how easy it was. I'd be a fucking fool to not do it. So I got that video. Towards the end of the week, there will be the upcoming Switch games for January, and I'm hoping that something fucking happens this week to at least give me like 1 or 2 more games because it's looking kind of barren. And I don't know what else is going on this week. It'll probably be more of a quiet week, but we'll see.
Greg, what's fun in your world this week?
I have no idea. Just covering some light news. News gets light through the remainder of the year, but I'll be active on.
Any videos or streams? Can anyone play Rocket League with you?
I want to do something just because I've been itching to just like at least talk about like some of the different techniques and stuff I've been using and along the way. So I mean that's definitely an option, but I don't know. I did want to upgrade my PC before I do any of those things so I can stream without having to worry about my GPU fucking up. So, but we shall see.
I've got a busy week. Lots of stuff to put out on Hey Jay. So there's going to be. I just put out a review for Squadrons. I think it came out yesterday. I put it out. And Age of Calamity. I think is this the week I did Age of Calamity? I think so as well. So I still have 5 videos to put out for the 12 days of Hey Jay. It might not all happen before Christmas, but it's definitely happening in December.
That ruins the whole fucking point of doing it.
I got busy, man. We'll see. We'll see. I'll try to put it all before Christmas just for you, but you better watch them all. There's going to be a Castlevania stream tomorrow. There's going to be a Wednesday stream, probably playing the cat game that Matt just graciously donated. And what else? We'll probably play both. We'll play the cat game and we'll play Super Meat Boy. And then on Christmas, I will probably stream something just so we can hang out. So if you're in quarantine as well, we could just kind of chill and play games and talk on stream. That'll be on Twitch. So make sure you follow me on twitch.tv/HeyJ. If you're not familiar, we also have a Class vs. Crass gaming clips channel that Treyon puts together and runs. So he takes every show every week, cuts it up so that you can watch the highlights. If there's anything that you're like, I want that clipped, Treyon's got you. And also shout out to Treyon for helping us out this year, pulling topics, finding out what topics we need to cover, and finding all the good news out there. Otherwise, we will see you all in the new year. Hopefully it's a better one. So that's about... We'll be back with another Class vs. Crass episode in, I'm going to say 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 weeks. And I hope you all have a great holiday season. Hope you're all safe. Wish you a Merry Christmas. And until next time, keep it classy. Or as Sean would say.
Keep it classy.
Or as Greg would say.
A little bit of both.
Have a great end of year, everyone. Take care.
See ya.